For years I've been seeing you in my dreams, and lately more and more. I know it's you, but I can no longer recognize your face. I don't know if I'd recognize you if I saw you. I hope your condition hasn't worsened much since you last wrote. I can hardly imagine what a nightmare you're going through. Remember, you're not alone. I'm sure our father would be happy to help, if only you asked him. I assure you that for now, I haven't said a word to him about your search or your health, just as you requested. He doesn't know your intention, and with God as my witness, he'll not find out from me. I know you think the only thing that can help you is a miracle. But such itinerant miracle workers, preachers, and folk mystics often take advantage of those in grave condition who are desperate or seeking help. I hope the man you're pursuing can actually ease your mind. But if not, remember that in the end, we will find a way to help you. Just because we can't see it now does not mean it doesn't exist. Send word as soon as you get there. I want to know you're safe. With as much love as I have. Ligia.
Could you spare a moment for me? I'd like to send a telegram.
Of course. Pardon me, sir, but are you feeling all right?
Yes, thank you.
You're not looking your best.
Thank you.
What's your message?
Take this down, please. Arrived. Very beautiful views. People honest at first glance. Sincerely, your barely living cripple.
I didn't mean to cause offense.
Well, then strike that, please. Take this down, please. Arrived. I think I have found him. I hope he will receive me. I will write as soon as I am able.
And payment?
On receipt.
Anything to add at the end?
Please add, my love to you, my sister.
Touching. From whom?
My name is Viktor Szulski. S-Z-U-L-S-K-I. And Viktor with a W, not a V.
Interesting name. Where's this headed?
Warsaw, Russia.
And this is supposedly Georgia. Russia here and Russia there. Russia everywhere, on every map.
Maps change. I know. Let's get on with it.
Pardon?
I was talking to myself. Which way to the village?
The coachman is picking up the mail. Maybe he'll give you a ride.
Thank you.
Loony.
Hello. Are you going to the village by any chance?
Hello there. Where else? There's nowhere to go here, sir. The station, the village, and the cemetery. That's all. A horse can't go any higher.
The village is what interests me.
Well, if you've got reason to be there, climb in.
So is it just locals living in the village?
Who else would want to live in a shithole like this?
I actually meant, is there anyone visiting, a guest?
Ah, you came for some healing. Well, he's no guest here. He's been here months, my friend. The people are tormented, so he's sure got folks to heal.
Where might I find him?
I bet he's still in the tavern. He prays this time of day. Oh, he prays a heck of a lot. You getting in, or what?
Can you wait for me a minute? I want to take a look around.
Well, I'm not going to leave you now, am I?
Thank you.
All set?
I'd be grateful.
Always nice to have someone to shoot the breeze with. Nothing to see around here. This is everything. Hard to get lost in this place. Head to the tavern over there, past the little square, up the steps. They'll tell you where the preacher's at. Or this time of day, he'll be there himself.
Thank you. Gentlemen, is this the tavern here?
Hey, Putnik. You coming from far?
Indeed, I'm tired.
Nice boots. They warm?
Actually, I have particularly warm boots. Thanks.
And sooner or later, these might kick their arses.
Don't tempt me, Luca. Don't tempt me. Give me a sec. Got to sort out formalities with this tourist.
It's your snummy. We are the Tsar's soldiers.
Those don't look like soldiers' faces. Closer to thieves.
I don't think he'll talk to us voluntarily.
There's the Ruskies right. They won't report us. They'll be too embarrassed to admit some cripple got the better of them.
Good boy. Forgive me, sir. Is your name Grigory Yefimovich Rasputin?
I forgive you.
I'm sorry. It's just I've been looking for you for a very long time, and...
And you expected a thinking simpleton, an illiterate who swindles sick people and claims he can speak to God himself. I already said I forgive you.
Yes, I've heard. Especially in Petersburg. I've also heard about the healings, even hopeless cases. Inexplicable ones.
And what do you believe in?
In miracles. In my condition now, I can only hope for a miracle. And I know the meaning of that word. I'm a Thaumaturge.
Where are you coming from?
I first learned of you in Paris. A charismatic miracle worker from Russia. I even heard about you from my doctors. By the time I got to Petersburg, you were already gone. I've crossed almost 3 continents, through Siberia, India, and half of Europe. But if you're asking me about my origins, I'm from Poland.
From which Poland? The Russian one, the German one, or the part that belongs to Austria?
From Warsaw.
Do you have a name?
Wiktor Szulski.
On my path, I've already come across people who've lied to me about their problems, and then gone around calling me a charlatan. After them, others arrived, with pitchforks and torches, and I had to endure insults and spit in my face, or flee for my life. And now you say you're a wizard from an imaginary country that no one has seen on a map in over 100 years. Forgive my amusement. I haven't had my first coffee yet.
I forgive you, and I'm still asking for help.
Prove you're a Thaumaturge, and I'll hear what you have to say.
That's partly the issue I wanted to speak to you about.
Does that mean you give up?
That means I'll try, but I don't know.
All right, all right. I've met a few of your kind, so I know what you're capable of. Find something in this tavern that belongs to me, and tell me something only I could know.
First, I need to have something personal that belongs to you to learn your trace. It's a sort of pattern I'll use to recognize the other objects.
Smell this.
I'll return to you in a moment.
I can hardly wait.
Let's take a look around. Who would have thought there were such layers of passion within him? Maybe I will try later. Even prayer can't dampen the wrath smoldering within Rasputin.
What have you learned, wizard?
Well, you're a zealous man. It permeates every level of your personality, your faith, your abilities.
Not such an impressive discovery.
I haven't finished yet. In Petersburg, you left behind a very devoted and very young lady-in-waiting.
At least one, my friend.
You didn't like your breakfast. Buckwheat with venison fat. You cursed the person who prepared it. You called her a hobbling cunt, correct?
Have a seat. Tell me again, why were you looking for me?
A few years ago, I attempted to catch a wild saluter, and that ended with me losing contact with my first saluter. That means I can't develop my abilities. I know that my Uber is there. Sometimes he shows himself, but I can't feel the link anymore. Generally speaking, I'm losing it more and more each day. If it disappears, my mind... I'll lose my sense of reality. I'll fall into madness.
I don't know if I can help you.
I've got money, if that's what matters.
Give it to the needy. Your riches mean nothing to me. I meant I don't know if I'm able to help you. My gift is something I've received from God. Some I've helped, others I can't say. And I've never treated a Thaumaturge.
Maybe just do the same with me as with the others.
We can try. Focus on my voice. You are safe. As long as you can hear my voice, you are safe. Let me gaze into your mind. Let me see through your eyes. Let me...
Where am I? Rasputin. There's no one in here. I need to get out of here. What is this sound? Shackles?
You're blind. You've never grasped the science of spotting the perfectly obvious. Can you still not see?
What do I supposedly not see?
Flaw clouds your vision. It always has. Pride. Your damned pride and sense of superiority.
I must have gotten that from you, Father.
You'll lose, idiot. You always do. You're even losing against yourself. You can't see, but can you at least hear? You're weak, stupid, and blind. Do you hear me? Do you? Do you?
I can see, Father. Clearly.
Will you be lying there much longer? I wanted to sweep.
Where's Rasputin?
In the cemetery, chasing away evil spirits and giving people comfort. You all right?
Yes, yes. Absolutely.
I wanted to sweep.
I'm just heading out. It's so good to see you again. And something else. I saw him clear as day. It wasn't a vision. It was a saluter, unbound by a pact. A wild one. And if so, that means there's someone in the village with a flaw that's attracting it.
You talking to me?
I was praying.
I wanted to sweep.
I felt something. Where is it? What do we have here?
They'll all gawk, but without lifting a finger. Just, Vesna will bring it, Vesna will help. But if Vesna needs help with something, there's nobody to be found. That's not yours, don't touch! All these newcomers causing more problems.
Excuse me. I need to get to the local cemetery. Could you give me a lift?
I've only just come back from the post office this morning. I'm not getting the horse going again. Back to the cemetery. It's not like anyone there is going to run away. And look, my horse is more dead than alive.
I'll be right back. I sensing? What do we have here?
Over my dead body. I reject this verdict.
Well, I expected as much. And he wanted to come see you himself. He was first to judge.
I said what I said, and I won't change my mind. Go away. You're attracting gawkers.
Not gawkers. A witness. And let him listen. He'll see it fairly. Sir, this liar and thief here stole a memento of my mother. And this witch says I'm supposed to hand my goose over to him too?
Because you strangled mine. And what do I care about some trinkets your mother left you?
Because we already know you strangled the goose, but you still haven't proved that Bogdan stole your pendant.
Where is the justice here?
Why don't you relax and listen to the words of a wise woman?
Well, all in all, it's... I'm sorry, Bogdan.
Come inside, and tell me what you're doing here.
The villagers seem to have a certain respect for you, ma'am, so I wanted to ask your help with something.
I'm not getting any younger, boy. Talk before I drop dead.
Well then, I hope you'll still be... I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over. I'm telling you, go away, or I'll call for help! 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 Somebody help me!
What are you doing here, you tramp?
I'm not looking for trouble. I just wanted to talk.
We'll talk, all right.
The devil sent you.
You could say that, sure. I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over. Please leave. Please, please.
I'm not going anywhere.
Maybe you'll change your mind and drop me off at the cemetery after all.
Well, on the other hand, this place isn't much more exciting than the cemetery, and I meant to take the horse out for a ride, so get on.
You're alive. Does that mean I helped, Thaumaturge?
I don't have enough words to thank you for what you've done for me. I haven't felt this way in years.
I'm glad I could help.
I see him. My Uper. He's back. I can feel our bond growing stronger as each moment passes.
I'm happy for you, but do restrain your joy. We're in the cemetery.
When I heard you were at the cemetery, I was sure I'd see you resurrecting the dead.
Not yet. Today I'm just praying for rest for Vasily's soul. The whole village is suffering after his loss. He was the elder here.
He cursed this place. Since he died, darkness and misfortune have hung over the village.
You see? To them, every harm comes down to witchcraft. They believe that after Vasily's passing, the village was possessed by some monster that howls at night or some other Yafets.
What changed in the village after the elder died?
It's all dreadful, sir. Everything's gone topsy-turvy. When folks get to arguing now, they're so hot-headed, before you know it, they're at one another's throats. Ladies have no patience for kids, nor lads for ladies, nor neighbors for neighbors. Any word might seem offensive and like an insult waiting to happen. Then you've got to fight.
Tragedies such as Vasily's death leave their mark on everyone. It takes time to come to terms with something like this. That doesn't mean this place is possessed by dark forces.
How did this elder die?
There was a fire, sir. Flames shooting sky high, and him burning, swearing, speaking curses. And the curse stuck. Those ruins seem a profaned place now. A wicked spirit has taken over the blighted land.
Don't encourage her. Once she gets going, it can't be stopped.
This could also be the work of a Salita.
What do you mean?
As you were healing me, I had a dream, a vision. But on the borderline of sleep and wakefulness, I thought I saw a Salutor. That's what might be influencing the villagers in Wailing at night.
They're good people, but none too bright, Victor. I'm afraid they might be talking about a train.
The wise woman was saying the evil spirit is a book of hatch.
Does the creature hunting you rattle chains, slither around, and have a mouth full of giant fangs?
A book of hatch.
Where did this elder live?
I'll show you. Let's allow Vasily's soul to rest for today. Amen.
Can you feel it? It's the smell of mystery. I felt something. So much suffering. True fear. A horrible death.
What do you expect to find in this place? The fire was almost a year ago.
Time doesn't matter much here. I'm looking for clues and personal traces that will lead me to whoever's carrying the flaw that lured the Salutor here.
I see. I thought I could be helpful to you, but I don't really understand what you're telling me.
Above all, flaws are deeply hidden marks left in human souls. They form under the influence of tragic events.
What does that have to do with salutors? Is that Latin?
Yes, from the word newcomer. People have always taken saluteurs to be spirits, demons, or imps.
Like from those fairy tales, the wise woman and the other old crones tell the locals.
Sometimes, those sorts of fairy tales and legends describe how humans perceive a saluteur. They don't take a physical form. Saluteurs are attracted to the flaws hidden within people. Thaumaturges discover these flaws inside someone, bring them to the surface, and adopt them to lure the saluteur. Those are the moments when I've usually failed. I haven't been able to hold on to a saluteur. I didn't know how to bind one to myself.
What about you? Do you have a flaw?
I bear the flaw of pride.
I wouldn't have guessed.
And now? Thanks to your help, I can once again discover people's flaws and the saluteurs hiding behind them. And I think I'm now able to catch my second saluteur. If I do manage to catch another saluteur, that would be a very rare occurrence, in fact. An ordinary Thaumaturge wouldn't even try more than once. Only a few have multiple saluteurs.
Why?
Because they're afraid. Like the ones who claimed humans wouldn't learn to fly or even reach the pole. But the failure of others doesn't mean those people are right. It means a mistake was made somewhere.
Isn't this exactly the sort of thinking that caused your problems that led you to me?
That doesn't matter anymore.
Then what's changed?
This time, I've got you with me. People always leave behind individual bits of their personality, even on everyday objects and such. I can decipher the thoughts and actions imprinted on these objects, and then match them to their owner. This lets me gather immense knowledge about a person, especially if I need to find someone.
What else can you do?
Why did you want to come here with me?
I have never gotten to know a Thaumaturge so closely. I'd like to learn as much as possible about your abilities.
I need to look around this place a little more.
I won't stop you.
This house was always full of fear, and its owner was still alive when the house caught fire. Someone wanted to kill him. The fire only covered up the crime. The murder gave birth to the flaw that you attached to, didn't it? I'll find you when I track down the murderer. I know who owns this doll. Maybe I should give him back to her. She ought to know more about what happened here.
Victor! I hope you've got what you want now, Thaumaturge. Because I think it's time to get out of here.
Why the hurry, Father? We're the Tsar's men. How about the donation for the Tsar's army?
There are no Russian outposts here.
I think this is the guy with the nice boots.
You're the guy who trashed our comrades?
I can do exactly the same to all of you.
He's not as weak as he looks. He actually looks better than he did the other day.
But not counting the priest. He's still alone.
Not anymore, I'm not. You're right, sir.
Me? Yes, but can these salutors also help you in a fight? Can you manipulate people and cast these demons into their minds?
Generally speaking, yes. Are you sure you're right, sir?
Call me Grigori.
Let's head back. I have to visit someone in the village who can tell me more about what happened here. Now I know that woman's trace. Vesna and her husband both left traces of themselves at Vasily's burned-out farmstead. Luka sincerely loves his wife. You think he loves her strongly enough to kill for her? You're right. It'd be better to ask Vesna about that. I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over.
Please open the door. I'd like to have a chat about your husband.
You better not be here when he gets back. He's not as talkative or polite as I am.
I know you're scared, but please, just open the door a crack and let me ask one quick question.
What do you want?
Please, don't be afraid. I just need to know where I can find your husband.
He's chopping wood in the clearing by the forest.
Again.
This time, it's a matter of life and death.
How is your search going?
Almost finished. I know who's attracting the Bukavach.
Can you reveal that secret?
It's Luka. It has to be Luka.
Do you still want to catch that salutor?
Yes, absolutely.
Despite the risk?
I hope I can persuade you to come with me.
That's an enormous favor you're asking me. I hope you'll be able to return it.
I give my word.
Did you hear? We're going to see Luka Bogosian.
I'm not here to fight.
Luka!
You shouldn't have threatened my wife.
Why did you do this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one who brought the Salutor here. The spirit that you all say arrived in the village after Vasily's death. The Salutor is what's making fear consume you all and making you hot-headed. And it's because of your flaw, which has been within you since the murder took place.
A murder might just be about to take place.
Cut off his head.
What?
Tear off his head before he opens his mouth again!
Unless you're the one that killed him.
And I'd do it again if I could. Get out of here!
Here you are, Thaumaturge. Vesna's flaw is mine, and you're mine. Going crazy again, you blind fool.
A little faith, Thaumaturge. Focus on what's true. My voice is true. I am the truth. You see. Look.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel? Are you all right?
Well, I don't think I'm hallucinating, but that means I'm currently facing a crowd of furious lumberjacks with axes, so I'd say I've been better.
What? What? I'm telling the truth. I do it again. None of you understand anything. It's because of this magician. It's his fault.
The magician didn't kill Vasily. He didn't bring the evil here. You're a witch! To the stake with her! To the stake!
And you... why are you just standing there? Are you just letting them do this? Fine. I'll handle it myself. I did it before, and I can do it now.
What have you done? Go. You don't need to see this.
Think, Luca. Your feelings for Vesna are still true, I know that. Hear out her reasons before you do anything.
Okay. You two better not come back to the village!
As if we wanted to.
Excuse me, sir? Do you happen to know when the train arrives? The postmaster said it's usually no more than an hour late, so it should be here any moment. I got a tougher question for you.
Pardon?
Will this train get me close to Albuquerque?
I'm afraid that's an ocean away, and even to the ocean you've got a ways to go.
Thank you. Ever since I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, I can't get my bearings. The things I've seen, sir. Places I've been. I just can't get to Albuquerque.
I wanted to send 2 telegrams, one to Warsaw and one to Paris.
Mr. Shulsky, I was meant to send for you when the driver came to get the mail. My condolences about your father. Do you still want to send something?
Did you come to say goodbye to me?
More like to share my fear. Your condition yesterday, after the fight with that Bukovac, it troubled me. I don't think my treatments are having a long-lasting effect. And you don't look the best. Do you feel all right?
I've just heard that my father is dead.
My condolences.
After your treatment, when I was hallucinating, I saw him. I heard his voice for the first time in years. I'm sure it was him. A strange feeling.
Maybe he came to say goodbye. Maybe it was his last chance to speak to you. A prophecy.
I hope not.
What do you intend to do now?
I have to bury my father in Warsaw. What about you?
Thanks to you, I don't think I have anything else to do here. I had a little time to think about what I saw in your mind. Tell me, Victor, have you ever seen a human skull cracked open on the cobblestones?
I haven't.
I have. The skull of Franz Ferdinand himself, with his brain spilling out onto the sidewalk. I also saw the white steps in Odessa running with blood. A battlefield blanketed in lethal fog, with faceless beings emerging from it. This hasn't happened yet, but I saw it as clearly as I see you now. Thanks to you, I know that I can stop it. I know that I am part of history, and I can change it. Even at the cost of scorn, contempt, or my life. You promised me a favor, so Warsaw sounds perfect.
Warszawa! Warsaw! Warsaw! Last stop, Warsaw. Time to wake up.
It's clouding over.
The weather is like my mood.
Aside from the circumstances of the funeral bringing you back, you hadn't thought of ever returning here?
I hate this city. It always makes me think of the stench of vodka, sweat, and urine. Corruption, poverty, and trust me, no justice but street justice.
I'm sure something must have changed since you left.
But probably not for the better.
What about the people? Those close to you? You'll never miss them?
I definitely didn't expect I'd be coming to my father's funeral so early.
I've noticed you two had certain differences in your views on life.
Yes, especially on my life. But admittedly, that's not a very exciting discovery. Is that all you've learned about me on our journey?
You drool in your sleep. Anything in there about Warsaw?
Workers are striking. They want to take advantage of the Tsar's visit to Warsaw. The protests are being violently suppressed. Last week, around a dozen people were killed. Polish Socialist Party militants attacked a train. They stole money, bonds, and explosive materials. They're also suspected of robbing a transport of Dutch pomade. The socialists in Warsaw must look pretty sharp then. Further along, we've got murders, muggings, and poverty.
The newspapers feed on sensation. Remember that in darkness, even a small spark can be seen clearly. Even I can feel hope from all the people riding with us. Can't you?
Even without my powers, I can tell that hope is bringing people here from all three partitions. Miners, steelworkers, governors, maids, speculators, thieves. I've gotten to read a few of our fellow passengers' possessions, and I know that hope can have many faces.
Will you share that knowledge with me?
There's a terrified woman riding with us. She's either running away or in hiding. I think that gentleman is smuggling something, because excitement is all mixed up with guilt inside him. And this dandy, he's going whoring.
If there's something I've learned in life, Victor, it's never to neglect the whores.
Warsaw, end of the line. Welcome to Warszawa.
I think the time's come to ask where you plan to stay.
I'll let you know when I come up with something.
When people unite, empires fall. Why such a crowd?
A circus has come to town.
These are troubled times. Brothers turn against brothers. Russia has had enough bloodshed. The violence must stop. When socialists attempt to divide Russia and her subject nations, to dent the sword that smote the enemy at Grunwald, this demands my decisive action. Thus, by my grace, I hereby appoint as Governor General of Warsaw, Georgi Antonovich Skowon.
A butcher.
Not a popular guy, I presume.
I see you ain't from here. That swine keeps a photo album of all the folks he's had shot at the Citadel.
Before and after execution.
Warszawa! The time for leniency and indulgence is over. From the moment this office is bestowed on me, No forces hostile to the subjects of Greater Russia will have any further right to exist. None! Whether it be brutal socialist subversives, communists, Jews, or other satanic provocators.
He sure knows how to unite a crowd.
Pardon me. Are you Polish?
I was born in Warsaw, but I'm lapsed. My name's Victor.
Wanda.
This is Russia here. Like it or not. Warszawa. Время террора закончилось.
Иди нахуй!
My first decision as Governor General of Warsaw. Arrestować.
Great heroes in their sense of timing. Of course, now they're the first ones in the fight.
Samoobladanie, Poliaki. We want that rebel. The Loudmouth.
Damn.
What happened?
Be a gentleman. Please kneel and tie my shoe.
I didn't dare suggest it myself.
Can I ask you a tiny favor? The Russians can't find out about this. The military is just looking for an excuse to suppress the crowd, and these workers are dreaming of thrashing a Russian gendarme.
Either one of you confesses to disturbing the peace, or всех забирай. We'll take you all in.
You can't handle all of us.
Can you get us out of here?
I think I'm open to any kind of suggestion.
With a book like that, I'd find out what would convince one of these bastards to let us go. Or I'd take on that self-appointed leader of the proletariat.
Interesting strategy. Who are you, really?
A damsel in distress.
Those don't usually hide ammunition in their stockings.
Can I explain it to you another time?
For instance, I could disclose to a soldier that you came here with ammunition under your skirt.
Maybe we should see who they believe. A respected lady of Warsaw, or a common magician who just 100 years ago would have been burned at the stake.
Well, since you asked so nicely, I'm going to take a look around.
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to face bullets and bayonets?
What do you want then? My whole life on my knees? Kissing Ruski's ass?
I know.
Well, if you don't want to fight, then hide when they start shooting.
Pardon me, gentlemen.
The crowd has received the order. For now, zero response.
We'll give them a moment to arrest them all, book them, interrogate them. Gospodi will be home in November.
Gentlemen, please forgive me. Maybe there's a faster way to get this situation resolved.
Back off, Poliak, or we'll start shooting. Paniatno, scrum. Dawaj.
Sergeant, I didn't want to do this, but my name is Viktor Shulsky.
Shulsky or Smolsky, I don't care.
We'll make an example of you for the rest of these bastards.
Name?
Shulsky. Victor.
One of those Shulskis?
Yes.
My condolences. Now, profile.
Thank you.
What you pissing in the bucket for, asshole?
Where else am I supposed to?
Brown in the bucket, whiz on the wall.
You better remember that, too. That bucket's gonna last you guys till tomorrow.
Can I use the phone?
What are you staring at, Ganef?
I don't know what that means.
Quit squealing. First time in the big city? Have some respect if you don't know who you're running your mouth at. What did they put such a swell in jail for?
I showed a couple of Russian soldiers when I think about the petitions.
I have moments like that sometimes.
And I gave it to some Ruskies in the kisser, too. There's this red-bearded fella sitting there. I glassed him in the face, then kicked him in the bean, and wham! On the floor. And I pinched his billfold, too.
Did anybody ask you? Shut your damn trap. Well, are you from somebody?
I don't really get what you're asking.
Good thing you're asking and not just running your mouth, like some people. The question is, do you got a backer in town? You set up with somebody? Do you work for somebody?
What about you, guys?
Sonny, I've still been running the protection racket with Crook at the Ruzhitsky Bazaar. My dad used to work for him. But that was back in the day. Apart from that, I stay straight. I only hassle the Ruskies when I get a little loaded.
And I'm with the Shivs.
Bullshit. You ain't with the Shivs. Don't you go talking crap about the Shivs, cause I know them. You better give a fuller explanation, cause I lose respect real quick. I'm sensitive about folks like that. Who you from?
My name's Viktor Shulsky, and I work on my own behalf.
All right. Respect.
First of all, I am a Thaumaturge.
Now them, I got respect for. I know one really decent Jew from Povishla, who's a wizard too.
How about you? You got a foreskin or what?
Is my foreskin any of your fucking business?
Well, no. I was just...
Schmuck. But you don't look like much of a Warsaw lad.
I'm just here for my father's funeral.
I hope you don't miss the funeral toasts. Welcome to Warsaw.
I wouldn't call you a master strategist.
You got away from the station, so theoretically, we achieved our goal.
You're not losing your sense of humor. I guess this isn't your first time in a place like this, is it?
You'd better tell me if you managed to get rid of your ammunition.
If I hadn't, I'd already be locked up at the Citadel. I admit your behavior did successfully distract the Ruskies.
You're welcome.
All right then. What's such a gorgeous, hairy mug doing in a crummy place like this?
I spent a little time on the Rue de la Raquette in Paris.
It got demolished 5 years ago.
Oui. What about you? You seem to know your way around this setting. You been here often?
I'll take that as a compliment. And sure, sometimes, if the cause demands it.
What cause?
Let's say I know certain folks who'd find poles like you useful.
Dealers in stolen Dutch pomade?
Donut connoisseurs. They met at Burke Rotblitz's cafe.
I don't want to jinx it, but do you spend time there too?
If I'm not there, no one will want to talk to you. And don't worry, I don't usually hang out long in places like this.
Shulsky!
I see you won't be hanging out here long either.
Shulsky, this yours?
That's right.
Then take it and get out of here.
Can I ask why the sudden change of plans? Anyone I should thank?
If he wants to, he'll tell you himself.
Thank you.
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
Why are you so interested in my father's cause of death?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
I think I ought to arrest you, Thaumaturge. Put your hands down. Someone might see. You still haven't figured out who I am? Don't be surprised. The last time we saw one another was 20 kilos ago.
Uncle Voronian?
I will not keep you. The guy's probably all alone back there, among those vultures circling Stasio. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Go on. We'll talk later.
Sister?
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better, and definitely closer to the truth. The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 salutars. I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia because she wasn't born a boy. Me because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now... Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
I was reflecting at the grave of my beloved father.
You tricked me. I heard something else. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Shulsky, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
With all due respect, this is my personal business. It was my father who knew you, not me.
True. Please forgive me. I meant no harm. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Kaniechkin. Ivan Kaniechkin. Goodbye.
Such interesting friends you had. I guess I'm more tired than I thought. We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Shabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
We're twins, my dear lady.
The Shulskis reunited. You don't look like a horrid cripple. Why did you leave Warsaw so quickly?
Don't tell her anything. She'll write whatever she wants anyway. And we'd better get going.
I suggest you leave. Otherwise, I'll overlook your womanhood and make sure you can never pronounce a single syllable correctly again.
You'd permit that to happen, Judge? Maybe I should write about this.
And who would let you print it?
Someday the press will get the Russian boot off its neck, Judge.
I'm afraid none of us will live to see the day, my dear. Come on, children. I'm sure my Petya is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image.
Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietya! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stasios. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure. How did it go? Mission accomplished?
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasia's study after every funeral we went to, and raise a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasia and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Ligia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone? I suppose there's no reason to bear grudges or be angry, is there? Eustachio?
To an easy death.
Familiar faces keep vanishing from my life. Eustachio and my Helena before him. I miss my little darling. I miss them both. Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
You'll all have to wait for me a moment yet.
All right, but hurry up.
I am ready, Mr. Shulsky. I only need all of you to be present. Can we start reading your father's will?
Yes, let his will be done. Again.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulsky's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen. Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter, Ligia Szulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. The administration of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter Ligia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following: my collection of muskets and 2 revolvers dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina. I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Szulski used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
we rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps, in all that confusion.
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
I foresaw a slightly more pleasant end for him, myself. I doubt even he deserved such a horrible death.
Those might be the kindest words you've ever said on the subject of a father.
How typical of his sort of person, to keep a portrait in his study of a family that was only a family on canvas. Not long after the painting was done, he got divorced, ruined Dziedzicus, and kicked out his son. But there the portrait hangs, as if family meant anything at all.
I don't know what exactly happened with Aboritse, but I know that Papa felt guilty. You don't want to forgive him even now that he's gone?
The dead need no forgiving. And as for forgetting, I don't know how. It's just a shame about the grimoire.
What do you intend to do?
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at our, well, my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check. Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Victor? Victor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
How did you know I have a telephone at home?
Something's interrupting you, Victor. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes. 7 Powaskowska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Powaskowska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Master Victor, let me guess. Have you come for some hot cocoa?
Would there happen to be anything stronger?
I see you're all grown up. There's still a little homemade liqueur if Judge Voronin's not polished it all off. Help yourself. It's been an age since we've seen one another. I'm glad you're back. Mistress Ligia is really struggling with everything.
And so, the great Stanisław Szulski is dead, crashed by a building. Can't say I'd wish a death like that on anybody.
An awful death. Sheer cruelty. Mr. Szulski didn't deserve it. Now all we can do is think back on what a wonderful man he was.
That won't take long. Ligia won't open up to me, but how is she doing?
She's having a rough time, the poor dear. Her heart is heavy, though she doesn't show it. But she's strong. She keeps her chin up and doesn't give in. And it's good she's got you to help now, Master. Only she's started smoking like a chimney. She takes after her father, no question about it.
So, this death, what do you make of it, Grażynka?
I'll tell you in confidence, Master Shulsky. Now, I'm a simple woman, but something about your father's death doesn't sit right with me.
How do you mean, Grażynka?
Don't you suspect some impure powers had a hand in it?
Do you mean it could have something to do with Thaumaturge?
That I don't know. Look at us jabbering while there are potatoes not peeled. Forgive me, Master.
Another time, Grażynka. I'll get out of your way.
Always ample work, but I can always snatch a moment for a chit-chat with you, Master.
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
What's next for you? You're in charge here now. Have you got some kind of grand scheme?
A grand scheme? For now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Certain customers are unconvinced that a woman can handle running a business. What's worse, a woman without powers. You know what I mean. A thaumaturge at my side would shut them all up. After all, it's your heritage too.
I don't know anything about running a company, but if I can help in any way, you can count on me.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I trust the smoke doesn't bother you.
You used to detest the smell of tobacco. You'd hold your breath going into Father's study.
That's true, but when I'd stay here, alone with Papa, and somehow over the years I got used to it. I don't know when I started copying him even.
Daddy's girl. You were always closer to him.
That's not true. I was just less rebellious than you, his thaumaturge son. Now come on, what else is on your mind?
The trousers are an original style. Until now, I'd only seen women in trousers in the East.
First of all, they're practical. It's the 20th century. It's high time we started dressing comfortably.
You've always been brave, never afraid of anything or anybody. Like when Mother almost had a fit because you dumped my best tie in hot cocoa.
I didn't care that she was angry. I wanted to get you back for not wanting to play with me.
Because you were being too annoying.
You meant to say brave. By the way, Grażyna still makes cocoa every evening. You can conjure up the flavor of childhood if you want. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumiantseva.
Who is she? And what did Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A customer? If you don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the crème de la crème of Warsaw.
What's a soiree?
How long did you say you lived with Mother in Paris? Just a party, if you like. Do you know what that is?
Very funny.
We could go together. How about you track down some evening clothes and I'll sort out the invitation? And I won't take no for an answer.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at 11 Pruzhna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We also have barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and face.
Come in.
Please set my hair to rights.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I don't usually talk to clients. Do you like it?
I can't help noticing that you're the most tight-lipped barber I've been to. And even you admit that you rarely talk to clients. Why is that?
When I prepared them for their final journey, it's hard to ask for their opinion.
So you style the deceased too?
Mostly. They still need to look good. After all, you only get a funeral once in your lifetime. So, what do you think? Do you like it?
Yes, you're talented.
Years of practice. My clients are always satisfied.
Hello, sweet secret.
Excuse me. Damn it. I forgot to turn the key.
Sorry, what?
You tell me. What is it?
I couldn't help noticing you're struggling for inspiration.
You've got a keen eye. The book makes it easier? I have to guess what everyone has in their mind.
Is there any way I can help?
I want to know what people look for in fashion these days. Back in the day, all you needed was 2 padlocks and a space for your Johnson. I don't know what else there is to it. If you tell me that, I'll be grateful. I'll sew you anything you want in return.
Let me sharpen my senses. I need some evening wear, quick.
Good proportions.
Thank you.
Alterations won't take long. Your name and address, sir?
Viktor Shulsky, 9 Green Square.
I'll send a messenger when I'm done. Now, I'd like to go to my business.
I won't bother you.
All right.
I haven't been here in a while. What do you want to tell me, friend?
I'll be first. You'll see.
Slow down. You'll get your clothes all dirty.
That kid, it's me. My mother thought I'd lost my mind. So did Liga, I guess. And that, as we know, didn't happen until much later. I didn't remember that Aboritsa was there too. He must have been. After all, he'd laughed at me later for wetting my pants. It was my birthday. Was it then that you chose me? Morana, hello. Let's see what brought you here. I felt something. Where is it? So that's how you want to play.
Move a little to the left, will you? You are blocking my view.
What are you doing here? Drawing an illustration for a newspaper?
For myself, as a local artist. I'm Cayetan.
Do you specialize in still lives?
Yes, you might say that. Here in Povishla, nothing interesting's ever happened. But there you go. Murders with an artistic twist. Very inspiring material.
Povishla doesn't seem like a pleasant place to live.
Is life itself pleasant? I don't think so. Even those mutilated bodies, they have no eyes. As if the murderer tried to say there's nothing to see here.
So you're saying that nothing matters?
Exactly. Once, misfortune brought me to this river. I wanted to end my life. But the river wouldn't have me and threw me back on the bank. I decided to stay around.
What exactly do you paint?
Dead bodies.
Someone might say the dead deserve respect.
I'm saying that both life and death are meaningless. You are blocking my view.
I'll go now.
Please, step back. This is a crime scene.
I can see that. Am I wrong, or does the deceased have no eyes?
Yeah, no eyes, all right. And why would there be? He's the fisherman's sixth victim.
Hey, Rogulski, cut the chit-chat. And you, 3 steps back. Go on!
Is the fisherman some local criminal?
Get out of here while I'm still asking nicely.
Easy, I'm going now. I don't want to bother you.
Just what I need. A fucking throng of onlookers.
Nice rocks. They smell like downtown.
What are you sniffing around here for, Outlander?
You'd better not get in my way when I'm working.
And what does a whelp like you dabble in?
Maybe he's the murderer. The young master was bored and came to Povishla for a taste of gore.
He'll taste it all right.
His own.
Is the painting finished?
Nope. The police took the body before I could finish. But I'm sure something new will appear soon.
I'll go now. Any fish biting?
It doesn't matter. What do you want?
My name is Victor. I only wanted to ask what was going on here.
With those damn police?
They are trying to catch the fisherman, and the fisherman is doing his bit.
Is it bad that they're doing their job?
And what for? Did anybody call them? Anybody complain?
What, do you think murder doesn't bother anyone?
Like there are never any murders in Povishla. Big deal.
The river giveth and the river taketh away.
We'll do fine. We don't need the police here.
Who's the fisherman?
The one who left the body on the beach. Stark naked, with pebbles in place of eyes, and a hook stuck in the roof of the mouth.
Like a fish. That's what he always does.
The police call him a serial killer. A dozen people he's snuffed out like that already. The son of a gun.
You sound like it doesn't bother you too much.
And what should it bother me for? If he kills, he kills. We're not to judge if that's good or bad.
The river giveth, and the river taketh away. Yep.
And they can't catch the fisherman even though he continues to kill. Is that right?
He's smart, shrewd, not like those police fools. And everyone knows who he is.
How so?
Because you see that guy on the beach who set up his easels in the sand and is painting?
He's the fisherman.
He paints all those bodies. He's always around the new ones. They even raided that hovel of his. Right, Edek?
Yep.
And yet, he is still at large and keeps painting. So maybe he's not the fisherman after all.
Sure he is. Everyone says it's him. He's a weirdo, living like a hermit in that hovel. Nothing holds any value for him, so maybe he takes people's lives just for the hell of it.
Yep.
And where is that hovel?
Go along the river and behind the workshop. Am I right, Edek?
Yep.
Thank you, gentlemen. Happy fishing.
Yeah, right. Hey, you can't be here.
Cayetan doesn't allow it.
I don't like you, Sonny.
He's got nice shoes, though.
I wish I didn't buy them at all.
Well, I don't like that kind of resignation.
But I still like your shoes.
Any new ideas?
Can I help you?
Can I ask you a question?
Whatever.
I'll go now. I'm back.
Still not biting.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, right. You're not from round here, I can see.
Hello. Is this a bad time?
It is a bad place, fancy boy. It is for the locals.
I got it. I'll see myself out. Hello.
Hello, hello. How can I help you, sir? Are you buying? Pledging? Art, cards, old farts, top coats, ski, jewelry.
Do you remember Mieszko Setsemi? He was a lone shark around here.
And you're asking me because?
No reason.
Setsemin died a long time ago. They say someone attacked and shot him. Terrible tragedy. Terrible. Even talking about him might bring bad luck. And so, life goes on here in Powiśle.
Goodbye. Let's wait. Aren't your legs getting sore? Stupid question. So, did you miss the city? Me neither. Let's wait until... So, let's kill some time. Any new ideas?
Can I help you?
Can I ask you a question?
Whatever.
I think painting those bodies has become something very important to you.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
It seems it has given your life a new meaning.
Do you really think so?
Aren't you afraid you might be arrested? You're always the first one out of the body. You painted. To me, you look like a murderer.
Me? Why? The bodies appear on their own. Besides, let the police worry about that.
If they catch the murderer, there will be no more dead bodies to pose.
Right. I hadn't thought about that. I don't understand.
It seems that while contemplating the lack of sense in life, you did find something you care about.
Right. But that doesn't make sense. Why is it that in trying to go with the flow, I end up paddling harder? Where did I go wrong?
Beautiful. I wonder if you developed it when you tried to kill yourself, or if you had it before. It is your doubt, your resignation, your nihilism. It's time to free you from it.
Can you hear me? Take a step back from him.
What? What are you doing?
They're arresting me, that's what.
What are you arresting him for? Having strange interests? Have you got any proof?
We are arresting the prime suspect. Do not obstruct us.
Tell them what you told me. You are not the killer.
What difference does it make?
Pielevin, you know he's not the one.
What can I do? This case is taking too long anyway.
How are you going to sleep after this?
I'm going to booze it up till I fall asleep. Preferably in moonshine.
And now it starts to rain.
Get it away from me! I don't want to touch it.
Yellow belly.
Shut up! Hey, you! What do you want here?
What is that you're playing with?
It's a hook from a real dead man. A dead man's hook. Quiet, you dolts!
This hook is from the fisherman's victim, isn't it?
So what if it is? What's it to you? They've already caught the murderer.
What if I tell you that they didn't? That they caught the wrong man?
The fuck they did? Get lost! Unless we trade for it. Got anything interesting to barter with?
Aren't you a little too young to be playing here unsupervised?
And aren't you too old to be talking to us? Maybe you like kids, eh?
I heard the murderer isn't the worst thing out here. They say this place is haunted.
Haunted? Haunted by what?
The Lady of the River. She looks beautiful, but come too close to her, and you'll end up swimming with the fish forever. She has a particular fondness for children.
Bullshit.
And then there's the fisherman, still at large, and hunting for his next victim.
Don't listen to this bullshitter. What do you want?
And what would you like for the hook?
A cannon.
A saber!
Well, you heard him. If you bring us a cannon or a saber, we'll give you the dead man's hook.
That should be doable. There were some old blunt sabers in Father's office.
Go away now. You're boring.
Salut.
Salut. Have you heard this, fancy pants?
You'll give me the hook because I say so. It's not a toy.
Oi! Mietek! This flunky wants to show us his pecker in the bushes.
You perverted fuck! Touching children, is it? I'll give you a pounding that the dungeon can only dream of!
Go shoot them! Well, well. I admit that you know how to fight. At first, I took you for a police oath. But I was wrong.
How flattered I am by your compliments. I thank you most sincerely for them. And now, I would like to get this hook.
Well, after a fight like that, you earned it. Here.
Hey! What's this supposed to be? I mean...
Shut it! So what now?
Now I'll examine the hook and keep looking for other clues.
Pietrik's a lick spittle for the coppers.
Shut your mouths! Or you lose even more teeth. I'll help you. Come find me near Antiaja's brothel. We can resume the investigation there. Alright, enough of this. Let's leave this place.